Hey, welcome to Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord and hiding behind his iPad, it is Joshua. Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Are you muted still? I couldn't hear you.
You're muted, Josh.
This derp. Come on, man.
I was actually frozen, not muted.
You were not frozen. You were moving.
Good, everybody. I was frozen.
You were not frozen.
No, I agree. It was frozen.
I was showing you guys a close-up for everyone viewing on YouTube, or that's not viewing on YouTube. I was showing everybody a panel of Utagawa Squad. Now, there's no real significance to that. The point is that we're covering World Trigger and it's fucking lit.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, World Trigger's back. And helping back to also help us cover World Trigger, it is my brother, it is our producer, it is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey. All right. Jump is off this week. Very depressing, but we do have World Trigger, so that makes up for a lot. Not only that, we got Dragon Ball Super today, so it should be, we're only doing 2 series today. Should be a relatively easy deal today. But
Could be.
Yeah, and we also got some questions from Sketchy Mike that we're going to get into for sure this time. We're only doing 3 though. But yeah, we'll get into it. But first, let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you? You call
at JD Cole _37.
You should know you call
That's our Instagram. And at NY Chillin' with an EN, not an ING at the end. That's on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
That's too quick. People are not going to follow that, Brian.
The Zoomers will. And that's
will
all
they?
that matters.
The Zoomers? What
Yes,
are the Zoomers?
The Zoomers will understand.
What?
You're
what
too
is...
much of a boomer. You can't understand the Zoomer lingo.
I guess I'm
Zoomer
fucking old.
speed.
Zoners?
Zoomers. Hey, Josh.
Characters that use projectiles in fighting games?
No.
No, Josh, you and I are old apparently.
Fucking boomers.
Just barely out of our 20s, and we're fucking boomers. We're not
man.
boomers, first of all.
If you weren't boomers, you would have known what Zoomers
We're not boomers. Boomers is not a state of mind. It's an actual time period in which you were supposed to be born in.
No, boomer is a state of mind. It's also a time period.
You know what? I'll give you that. Sometimes
Brian, you was born in 2003.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I was born in 97, you little
You might as
fag.
well have been born in 03, all right?
Yeah.
You
What
little
other
hoe ass.
jive?
You're also old.
What?
You're
No,
old.
I'm not.
You're in
I'm
your
young.
20s.
I'm young.
Whatever. We're only 5 years apart. Don't
Do
be
your knees
crazy.
hurt when you go up the stairs, Brian?
No, I'm too young and spry to feel those
Okay.
But I know his
mortal
back hurts.
qualms.
I know his back hurt. He's got back problems.
No, my back don't hurt right now.
Mm.
That's like, you know what it is? You know what really bothers me? Is my neck when I wake up from sleeping. That shit is fucking annoying at this point. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't
No,
stopped
it won't
for
ever
weeks.
stop.
It's so
Well,
fucking annoying.
You have
How
to
the
sleep
fuck do you
properly.
stop this? This fucking madness every morning.
I'll tell you what, Brian. You don't. You just...
There has to be a solution.
Yeah, only use one pillow or none.
Yeah.
If you use any more than one, if you use 2 pillows to prop your head up, it's over for you.
I don't use 2 pillows to prop my head up. I use 2 pillows to like create like a wall around myself when I sleep.
A wall?
Yeah.
What does that mean? All right, you know what? Listen, I'm not trying to like violate your sleeping habits, bro.
Yeah, we're not here to
I
shame
just-
you on your sleeping habits.
Just think, all right. So to put it in weeb terms, you know how like how in Attack on Titan, there's like the walls. There's like the walls protecting the city.
I'm still
That's what it
struggling
is.
to understand the relevance.
That's what it is for me. The wall, the pillows, my wall. And then the neck pain is the Titans.
This is what happens when Brian doesn't get his weekly dose of MHA.
Yeah.
He's getting real out of touch with reality.
No, yeah, for sure.
Actually, I'm super in touch with reality. That's the problem.
Well, there's our sleeping habits for you guys.
Well, my sleeping habits.
Well,
you guys
Brian's in
didn't say your
particular.
sleeping
I mean, we don't have walls around us, I think. I don't do anything
They
weird.
see my sleeping habits
habits. What's your sleeping habits?
on the podcast.
Yeah, you sleep upright with headphones on.
Standing up, hating on people who sleep.
Yeah. You wake up only to the sound of us praising My Hero Academia at any point in time.
You're like, you're standing there. You're like, man, these fucking motherfuckers think that sleeping's cool.
Sleep ain't all that.
What a bunch of fucking losers, man.
Anyway, you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow the show. Follow us on Twitter, especially. We do a really good chapter of the week poll on there. We didn't do it this week. We only have 2 series. It's not fucking worth it. We all know who's the best one between the 2 this week. So let's not fuck around.
Objectively.
But yeah, so there you go. We usually do it. We'll do it this week coming. We pretty much have all of our lineup coming back next week, I think. So that should be fun. So find us on Twitter and vote in the poll. And if you don't see your favorite series on there, I can't put all of them. I can only put 4. So you can write in your favorite series, reply to the poll tweet, and I'll count it. I'll count it towards a vote, and I'll add up all the votes when it's done. So follow us on there. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about on the show. That would be super cool. Let us know. And you can comment as well under any of the videos you're watching on YouTube, whether it's the full version of the podcast or the little highlight breakouts that we make for you guys every week. Subscribe while you're at it. If you like the show, give us a subscribe. Don't you want to keep up with it? That would be cool. Keep up with us. Hit that bell. It'll let you know whenever we upload a video, and that'll be cool. Subscribe to us on YouTube, or if you like audio podcasts a little better, we're on everywhere. We're on every podcast platform there seems to be in existence, so check us out on any of those. And without further ado, I think we're getting ready to start the show. Let's get into it. Dragon Ball Super. This is Dragon Ball Super, Chapter 86, All Out Bout. Last we left off with Dragon Ball Super. Gas? No, wait, was this Gas? Damn, it feels like forever since we talked about Dragon Ball Super. Gas has powered up to his super old form. He's old as hell, but he's never felt better, apparently. Yeah, this is his ultimate form. And he is like telekinetically carrying Goku, and Goku tries to teleport behind him to cut off the telekinesis, but he gets smacked from behind with his fists or whatever, just like bam. And Gas proceeds to whoop Goku's ass, something severe. It's pretty bad, and it took like Goku being saved by Granola out of nowhere. He came back and he was like Plea! With his cool finger gun technique. And he saves Goku basically. Although like the heaters can't really like pick up on it. They still think he's like angry at them because he tackles Goku to the ground. Basically, Gas is like, don't worry, I'm on your side. Let's work together to defeat this villain. And they fight. It's a fight. You know, they throw their techniques back. Goku basically is stalling for Granola to build up his final technique. Kind of reminiscent of Piccolo and Raditz fight.
Yeah.
It's like, Goku, you're familiar with this plan. Go get your ass beat while I charge up my special beam cannon. And Goku's like, all right. So, you know, that's basically what's going on. Goku's getting his ass whooped. He's so outmatched by Gas right now that he can't even really serve as a good distraction at the moment. Gas notices that like Granola is charging up finally. And then he turns around to be like, hey, I've found you. He's about to blast him, but Vegeta comes in with the nice tackle, and knocks Gas down. Gas is just like laid down on his back from a single headbutt from Vegeta. The other heaters try to go back them up, but the Namekian guy holds them back, and he uses this weird hypnosis technique that is his only technique. He's like, this is the only thing I'm good at. So conveniently, goodbye, other heaters. And Granola's almost done with his charging. Gas just like basically shoves Vegeta out of the way and makes a beeline towards him. And Goku just like awakens his Ultra Instinct form and creates his weird energy construct of himself that he grabs. He grabs Gas and just tosses him upward, just like straight up in a straight line. And then Gas fires his beam up at him, making a direct hit right on Gas, blowing it up, but not killing him though, because he's, I guess, still the strongest. You just see him fall to the ground. He makes a giant crater because he falls from like outside of the stratosphere of this planet. And Granola's
in his underwear.
Yeah, in his underwear. His entire
nothing more.
All his clothes were blown off, which is crazy because anime clothes are the strongest clothes there are. They take fireballs and jutsu, and they don't get torn at all. But this one actually did it.
And don't you forget it.
Yeah, never will. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Big old fight chapter, but interesting nonetheless. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Actually, there are a couple things I really liked about it. Goku turning into a whole spiritual being, that shit was crazy. I didn't see that coming. And just for him to toss Gas up into the air to get shot, I don't think he's dead, but that was a cool sequence. You know, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, all right, big move, you know, beat him up. You know, like the rhythm was the same old until this happened. So he gets points for that. But there's a few moments I thought that was kind of funny.
You know what's interesting is that he did the same thing against Moro, so it's not new, but
he did do the same thing against Moro.
He did the spiritual.
Yeah,
body?
He did a big giant.
Yeah, that's
Goku
how he beat him.
construct.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was still surprised. I want his hands look like Hulkbuster hands. You know those green Hulk hands? They're like made out of like foam or whatever you used to be able to get.
Yeah, I've always wanted those.
That shit reminded me of. Yeah, me too. I wish I had those.
Yeah. But yeah, were those all your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much. Brian, how did you feel about this chapter? Dragon Ball Super Lord.
I guess this arc is over? Question mark?
I guess.
No, the boss is still alive. He's the real strongest one.
Yeah, he's alive, but like,
who's the boss?
I mean, I guess because all right. So I think the thing that's going on here is that Gas is always being pushed to a point where he is the strongest. So he's gonna keep aging up until a point that he is once again the strongest. So if this arc is going to keep going, he would just age up again until he would just keep aging up until he's dust or some shit like that. But I doubt that's gonna happen because it looks like this is already set for like as a final attack, you know, which I think the explosion looked pretty cool for like a blast. It kind of looked kind of cybery or kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It kind of seemed more like a hollow explosion than like a regular like key blast thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it looked pretty cool. I like the shading on it.
It fit his aesthetic a little more. Granola's at least.
Yeah, it looked cool. I just don't really know what's the point of this arc right now. I don't know. Dragon Ball Super, ever since the Tournament of Power, it feels like it's been a little lost. It feels like they don't really know where they're going yet, like, or they're taking a really roundabout way to get to the part of the series that they really want to get to, because the progression is really fucking slow right now. Like, I guess we got a little more progression with the whole like Moro angel dude that taught Goku how to use Ultra Instinct a little bit more. I forgot his name already. Do any of you guys
Moro
remember?
Angel dude? Oh! I know what you're talking
He was
about. I just
pretending
forget
to be
his
a
name.
time patrol agent.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name.
They're just taking forever. They're just taking forever to get to the cool part of Dragon Ball Super, which is like the next step, and it's fighting the angels and shit. They need to get to that part. Like, bring back the other universes, start some shit. Just enough of these random ass fucking villains, man. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Moro. I never gave a fuck about Moro. I don't give a fuck about Heat.
The Heaters.
Granola's kind of cool.
Remember his
They
name.
have beef with the Freezers, though. That's a big deal.
Yeah, Frieza's cool, but like, I don't care about the other dudes. Like,
Frieza
just
is
keep
cool.
the story. If Super went from, all right, like I'm okay with Moro, right? I'm okay with Moro because at least there was some shit that advanced the plot with Moro. With this, Goku just got like a useless fucking power up. Like, he just created a new form that literally didn't do shit. Like, just. What was the point of this arc? What do we get from this?
Ultra Ego?
You know?
Yeah, Ultra Ego and
Ego, but at the end of the day, that could have been revealed in a better arc, you know?
Well, we
that
got
actually had like an overarching part of the series.
Yeah, I mean, we got Ultra Ego, but Ultra Ego wasn't worth it. You know, like, it is such an inferior ability to Ultra Instinct that it feels like, all right, you know, it's like,
It's pretty bare bones right now, which I
far as
guess
we
he
know.
could be saving it to like get better over time, even though I doubt it at this point. I am officially not a believer. I just think he needs to hurry up and get to the good part of Super, because Tournament of Power is, in my opinion, up there with some of the best Dragon Ball arcs of all time.
yeah,
Just because of how fucking cool it is.
yeah.
So he needs to just keep capitalizing on it, and they're kind of letting it slip, which is a problem. So just get back on the fucking horse after this arc. Just get into the good shit. Get to the angels. Get to fighting Xeno or some shit. Bring in fucking whatever, Jiren or whatever. Bring back something. Make people interested. I'm not interested in this shit. All right, get your shit together, Super.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I'm not very engaged in Dragon Ball Super. You know, you could tell even at the top of this, we were just kind of like, gas, right? That's the thing. Gas. You know whose name we don't forget? Naoya. You know whose name we don't forget? Kaido. We don't forget like any of these villains' name, but like,
well, for Kaido, it's easier.
Yeah, you know what I
because
mean,
we
though.
see him every week.
Think
I think,
about-
but we don't forget Jigen. We don't forget fucking Kawaki.
yeah, for sure. There's these like minor characters, and you know, I've never like kind of tried to fool myself into thinking that like Dragon Ball Super is not just an artificial extension of a story that was done 10 years ago. And that's me saying that Dragon Ball Super has had its peaks, and it's had like moments that I've really enjoyed. You know, I do think the Tournament of Power is probably like one of the better arcs, I guess, in Dragon Ball as a whole. It's a really good arc, especially in the anime. I feel like the manga doesn't really do it justice, but
Yeah, you're right, actually.
but
I forgot how dirty they did Gohan in the manga.
yeah, I mean, you know, so you know, and my standards for Dragon Ball Super are relatively low. I've allowed myself to kind of be surprised when they do something interesting here and there, and I feel like I appreciate that there is like a bit of an effort to expand the lore of Dragon Ball in general and try to make it a more full world. But I don't know. This arc in particular was not necessarily super engaging, and I don't know if this is over. Who knows? But if it isn't, I guess I'd be like, all right. It just gives me I feel like the same as Brian is just like, I'm not into this as much, you know? There's bigger fish to fry. And, you know, sure, you know, you could go after the angels and the gods of destruction and Zeno himself, but it's also like, how far can you possibly keep raising these stakes and power levels? Like, we're already at a point where it's kind of superfluous any form they take, you know? Where it's basically just a new character design every time, and nothing much beyond that. And Ultra Ego is like the biggest thing about that. And I feel bad shitting on Dragon Ball, but it is what it is. It's just it's fine. It's not outward terrible, but it's just like kind of boring. And
you know what was good about Tournament of Power though?
What?
Is that it actually gave people opportunities to shine.
Yeah.
Like in a reasonable space. I feel like that's why every arc after it is kind of disappointing, because it kind of went back to the same formula that it went to before.
Yeah.
You know, like single villain,
hard focus.
only one person can finish him off.
Yeah, hard focus on Goku or Vegeta, but mostly Goku. We have Granola, but like we just met Granola. Like, I don't care if he takes down gas. I don't care about the heaters. You're right, Brian. I don't give a shit about the heaters.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 80% of them are useless. Gas is the only one that's worth anything. I don't care about the heaters. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Those are my feelings, really. It's just, this is all right. I feel like between the two expansions or like epilogue series between Boruto and Dragon Ball Super, at least like Boruto has something engaging about it, that, you know, there was like an ongoing story that involved multiple people and there's a cast involved. I don't know. It's just Dragon Ball Super feels very much more like a corporate extension of something, like an expanded Star Wars thing, you know, like just keeping it going because this is our thing. This is like the big thing.
It's culturally iconic.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say. I don't know if you guys have any rebuttals or anything that you want to get off.
Not really.
All right. Well, for people who think we would outwardly hate Dragon Ball because of this, trust me, we don't. I promise.
We're just looking for more.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
Just looking for Vegeta to get a win.
We're waiting for the cool part to show up.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's brainless. Just get me to the part that actually is interesting.
Well, that's the thing too. It is a little brainless, I guess, even for Dragon Ball. You know, like I'm not very invested in even the fight, like this brainless fight. It's not like the fight is necessarily like all that dramatic for the most part. You know, it's like empty punches and kicks.
Yeah,
but
I just hope this arc is over.
Well,
he did a psychic attack just for it to, and then he stopped doing it.
Yeah, honestly, if they cut next chapter and they're just on Earth chilling, I'm fine with that.
I would be fine with that, to be honest. I'm like, wow.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
It's a shame that Gas instantly died after we said that he survived.
Yeah, they're just sitting at a coffee table like, yo, that was crazy. And I would be like, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
I guess that was kind of crazy, huh? Wasn't it, Goku?
Yo, that shit was crazy.
And then they're like, oh, wait, now it's time to fight the angels. And be like, oh, shit, let's go.
I'll tell you what, Brian, I don't think that's coming. Even next, I don't think that's coming. I think there's another something they got to deal with before they even
pop a heater.
Something weird. I don't know. It'll be they already hit construction stuff, heaters. There's electricity. There's gas. There's oil. I don't know what possible facet of life they can hit anymore.
All right, here's my guess. All right, you ready? This is my prediction for the next Dragon Ball Super arc. Goku is like training, right? He's like, wow, I learned a new move with my Ultra Instinct.
That's a good Goku
Check it out,
impression.
Whis. And then Whis is like, stop doing that. That's against angel rules. And then an angel policeman shows up.
They already did that.
And he is also a panda.
Oh.
Angel Police.
Well, they already did that. That one guy.
No, not Time Patrol.
Oh.
An angel policeman. It's like an angel security guard guy who makes sure that people aren't abusing the angel powers. And then he shows up and he's trying to find Goku and kill him and remove his angel powers. So he can't go mastered Ultra Instinct anymore.
God, I would hate that. That would be
So
such
so now everybody has to buy time for Goku while he masters his Ultra Instinct in order to defeat the Ultra Instinct policeman cop man.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Well, there you go. If
I'm right, put me in the history books.
If this is the one prediction we get right,
Dude, if this actually gets right, I will you'll never be able to doubt me ever again, honestly.
Never. I never doubt you, dude.
Yeah, I don't ever doubt you either, Brian. Never.
Well, all right. Let's move on. World Trigger. This is World Trigger chapter 224, the away mission test, part 22. It's been 2 months since we've seen World Trigger. It was on break last month. We got a 30-page almost chapter this week. We have 28 pages, which is, I'll take it. Last we left off, Suwa Squad has resolved to find ways to kind of cheese the game, find these easy strategies to make the game a little easier, so they can squeeze some points in some weird cheesy way. But they are kind of held back by the fact that the next day of the test brings a few more units to be used in the game. And basically a lot of this chapter is kind of like how each squad kind of allocates their resources to solve this problem. Because the amount of these units in the game, these players, these little characters in the game that you use, the more you have of them, the more Tryon that consumes of you. So a lot of teams that have less Tryon output are at a natural disadvantage. So it's not just some easy thing where you have more characters. You have to kind of figure out a way to not only conserve Tryon, but also to make it so that it doesn't take away from the special assignments and the regular everyday assignments that they have to complete throughout the test, along with the battle sims. And this chapter is basically Mizukami is even oh man, I mean, it should work today. I should still be able to do the same thing today, but tomorrow is going to be the real test here.
If it increases again, but they seem pretty certain.
Yeah.
They all seem certain that it's going to increase.
Yeah. Murakami's squad deals with it pretty quickly. They essentially divide up Kurauchi's units amongst the other squad mates so that everybody...
Salamander bombs.
Yeah, salamander bomb man. And so that each of them has an equal divide of Kurauchi's extra units so that he can focus more on the special assignment that comes up. Kodera is one of the squads that is kind of affected by having people with generally low Tryon levels. So at the moment they're just I think they're going to do the same thing basically, but try to figure out strategies along the similar lines of Suwa Squad, I think, where they're just going to try to see if they can figure something out on the go for the next day, especially. But although there is some kind of doubt within them, as the operator Rokuta is assures them that she can do it, but she's not sure that she actually can. She doesn't say that out loud. On Utagawa squad, I think Urashima's his name. It's 9:07, so he gets up to send a text, which is very suspicious.
Very sus.
Very
Sus-mogus, honestly.
Yeah. So he goes off to send a text. And I don't know if we really see Utagawa Squad again. But that's the last we see of them. Wakamura Squad is an interesting one, and I think it's the one we spend the most time with for the most part outside of Suwa Squad. Basically, they're getting their ass kicked. They are constantly on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of the rankings, and they're just trying to figure out how to handle these extra units. And basically, the plan is for Hughes to take over, because ever since Hughes took over, they were able to actually win a game. So they're basically doing that. And they asked Hughes if he could do it. He's like, I can do it. I mean, if people come at me with logical formations and stuff, I can kind of think my way out of it. I can either secure a draw or an outright win. And it's mostly because of the amount of Tryon that they have. That is actually mostly attributed to Hughes as well. Like, their people seems to have like a good reserve of Tryon, but Hughes is still carrying the team in that regard as well.
More than double of everybody else seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And there's another unit.
Yeah,
on top, like he has an extra unit now, so that's even more for the other teams to deal with. So I don't think he was coming from a place of being like cocky. I think it was a matter of he understands that they have a clear advantage and he knows how to abuse it and force people to play around it.
Yeah,
you know, he's smart enough to consider counterplay. You know, so he could develop counterplay to that counterplay.
Mm-hmm.
Mind games. Yeah. Smart guy.
Yeah. So
he's pretty chill.
Yeah, he's basically like, yeah, I can do it if you need me to. That's totally fine. And he does make a particular note that Suwa Squad has Katori, who can be unpredictable. So he can't guarantee a win on her behalf. Because it'll either come out as a pretty definitive win or a crushing defeat. So the operator for Ikoma Squad, actually, I think her name is Maori, because I remember they call her Mario. But Maori says that, like, how about Hughes is in charge only for matches that he's comfortable with. And Rokudera is kind of like down on himself, but Hughes is like, I can agree to that, but only if the captain orders it. And Rokudera kind of picks his head up and he's like, okay, yeah, that works. You know, he agrees. That's their strategy going forward. And then we cut to Suwa Squad, where a lot of focus is on kind of Osamu's thinking process, you know. He's starting to think about, like, you know, his game plan for the day. He's got to, like, submit the answers that he wrote down. Osamu came up with the strategy of taking parts of the assignments that they get throughout the day, and if he can't finish them through the day, do them overnight and just, like, copy the answers that he wrote down longhand onto the test itself. And on top of the extra units, they learn that there's some win conditions that have changed. It's not really important to get into them, but yeah, it's also that the map has gotten a little bigger as well. So, you know, there's that. Mizukami just leaves the room and is going to do, like, kind of his homework in the private room. He's obviously up to something because that's his vibe. Kakizaki Squad is actually going up against Osamu's Suwa Squad, and they actually win that one. So, you know, they were able to squeak out a win, but then they lose consecutively. 2 more times. They get a draw once and then they lose again. So Osamu observes that, like, having more units in total means that strategies involving the strong ones are more effective, but that just means there are that many more weaker targets that can be exploited. So yeah, they need to find a way of scoring without relying on our units' raw stats. So there's got to be some kind of crazy strategy involved in order to win when you have a relatively weaker team. A special assignment comes in, and it's to come up with 3 to come up with a new match format completely different from the 3 and 4-way battles of the rank wars. You may also add new elements to the existing rules. So that's pretty cool. It's teamwork allowed, so everyone can work on this. But Suwa elects to take it on alone. And I think it's literally because he wants Osamu to play the game as much as possible so that he could come up with the strategies, because that's Osamu's thing, is coming up with creative solutions out of pretty dire circumstances. They lose one more match and then they win the other one. So they squeak out 2 wins at the end of the day. I think they tied the day before, so they did it. They
did a little bit better.
Yeah,
than
they broke even, and overall, because of also the special assignment that was thrown on top of them, their overall rank jumped from 10th place to 7th. So they're in the single digits. Good for them. This is the first time they've really broken through. And we see that Katori notices that both of her squad mates are in the bottom 2 squads. And she starts to get deflated and she just slumps down. And the chapter ends with Katori suddenly not feeling this at all, leading to Osamu to let out a big, huh? And that's where the end of the chapter is.
Oh, okay.
So, Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
I really liked it. I mean, it was a lot of writing, but I think the progression through the test really nicely. Them adding an extra unit did add another layer of depth to the combat, and it was enjoyable seeing how everyone went about addressing the situation. Katora, I think she's going through that cycle where she is really enthusiastic about learning something and then just drops it. Because she wasn't really that enthusiastic with this program to begin with. But then she probably started, getting a flow with it. And now, after 2 days, they're still not really doing that well. And I guess I didn't really know how to interpret that picture with her seeing her teammates at the bottom. But maybe it is like how you said, maybe she feels bad about her team being low because, Super Squad's not that high either. They're in 7th place. Only 2 places above, or 3 places above Kitazo. Anyway, I wonder how the teammates are gonna respond to well, I'm sorry, what's her name again?
Katori. Wait.
Katori.
Yeah, Katori.
Yeah. But that's my guess. It's it's just her going through the motions, like her usual motions, which she really needs to break out of anyway. I'm looking at the special assignment. It says, come up with rules for a new match format different from the 3-way and 4-way battles currently employed for the B rank wars. You may also add new elements to the existing rules. In addition, explain the reasoning behind your new revised rules. I'm not going to go crazy, but I could think of a couple ideas, One thing I want to see with that, one thing I can't think of any way they could change it. It's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, it birthed one of the greatest.
That's the honest truth.
It birthed one of the greatest arcs in manga history, I think, at least. So I can change nothing about it.
I think what I would change is that you would always have to have this even amount of members. I think it's silly that some teams have 4 and others have 3.
Yeah. Well, that's not a rule.
Doesn't feel right with me.
Well, that's not a rule, that's just how some squads are made up. As far as I know,
that'd be my rule. That if you're gonna enter the rank wars, you gotta enter with 3 and keep one on the bench.
Well, that's what's interesting because Fushiyama squad, the A rank number 2 squad, it seems to only have 2 people on there. So
what?
Yeah, it's the sniper and the trapper guy, and that's it.
Oh.
So there's
maybe the third person is Blast.
There is no third person. There's no third person period. They have an operator and that's it.
I think he was just making a joke about Blast from One Punch Man.
Yeah, I mean, or an original character from World Trigger, but you get my point.
Named Blast.
Could be just an original character, but why not Blast?
Why not?
Was that it?
So, yeah, no, those are all my thoughts. It wasn't as much stuff that was explained in this chapter. I don't think anything moved the story along too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, patient. Next month is my birthday month, and World Trigger better be valid for September. It's always valid. I'm bugging. I know it's gonna be great.
How dare you doubt them?
Oh, you know what? I had something on my mind. I'm wondering what Makumo's moment is gonna be, or if he's gonna have this like major developmental step during this process. I don't have any reason to believe he's not going to, but it's just that there hasn't. I don't know. Like, I've had ideas before that I've definitely forgot already, but I don't understand. I don't see a pattern of something with Makumo that like a focus. So I'm not worried, but I'm kind of. I want to see something more with Makumo. Maybe I'm just being restless though. How do you feel about that, guys?
Yeah.
You want to go, Chris?
No, you go for it.
Well, I think this is a point. I think this is going to be a moment for Mikumo to kind of figure out how to work with people who aren't always agreeing with him. I think this is a perfect opportunity because Suwa just left the room and he's the obvious alpha Chad in this squad.
Hold on. Suwa did not leave the room.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he's there with them.
No.
Mizukami left the room.
He's kind of not paying attention.
Do you say alpha Chad like?
No,
ironically?
he did. He did his What Suwa did was like he did his exam. He did like the special assignment and left Osamu in the game this time, whereas every other time Osamu's been doing the special assignment. He kept Osamu in the game specifically so he can come up with strategies because he knows that that's what Osamu does.
Mm.
And is everybody else playing the game?
Yeah, one of them always.
So,
one of them always has to drop off to do the special assignment that's emailed to them.
Yeah, so I think this is the moment where Mikumo has to kind of be able to work with somebody, like work with people who aren't always ready to follow his orders or help him out or always be energetic and happy to help, you know? They're different personalities and shit. And working with somebody who isn't always agreeable is gonna be like a skill that he has to obtain, you know, because they've obviously been clashing this entire time, and this might be the moment for him to kind of get through to her and to kind of work together to start getting some wins under their belt. So it's more like adjusting his personality to like, you know, be a better fit for like leading a team, no matter the circumstance, no matter who it is that he's working with, you know? So I think that's what this is going to kind of lead to, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense. Overall, I thought this chapter was pretty cool. It was kind of like, it was slower than the others. I feel like I actually kind of read the comments because Viz Media has like a comment section underneath where people like comment their thoughts on the chapter. And a lot of people thought this was like really slow. And people were like, all right, this is getting to start to drag. And I don't quite feel that, but I can understand how people could feel that. Because this is a particularly slow one. And it definitely feels every bit of it because World Trigger is monthly now. I feel like if this was a weekly series, you know, it would like this kind of pace would be forgiven. It's kind of a raw deal that World Trigger has at this point. But that being said, I thought this was a solid enough chapter. It wasn't World Trigger's best, but you know, there's like little snail's pace things moving along, and you can it's more of like building dynamics between characters, and This is an arc about problem solving. As far as Katori goes, I agree with Brian. I feel like if there's anybody who's going to change throughout this in any drastic way, it's probably going to be Katori. Because this has been a thing with her where she gets very easily discouraged. She's a very competitive person. And when she feels herself losing, she tends to lose interest in what she's doing. And I think an equivalent of that is happening when she's seeing Rokudera and her operator following in the same footsteps of just like dropping and being in the bottom two. She's just losing the enthusiasm because in theory, they'd be out of the A rank or not A rank, the away mission contention if they lose this is the implication I think that she's drawing from. So she's looking at this in the frame of a game where, her people are losing. So even if she passes, what's the point? But it's interesting. And, she's always had, like Brian mentioned, this like contentious relationship with Osamu because despite him not having the skills that she has, he's still like very determined and he won't let up on things. And, he always tries to like figure something out. So I feel like that's going to come to a head next chapter. And every squad has had their little moment of friction. And this might be the first time that we get it from Suwa Squad in particular, which has been somewhat well led, to be honest. Like, they're not doing well, but it's not for lack of leadership or anything. It's just, they're trying to figure out their process because they've got disadvantages in certain fields and they're just trying to figure it out. But I think this was a very interesting enough chapter. Lots of dialogue, like Josh mentioned, but hey, that's what we're here for. But I did enjoy this chapter quite a bit. But do you have any rebuttals, guys?
No.
Where's Chica's squad at in the rankings?
She's on Ninomiya.
Yeah, Ninomiya is number one
in first place.
Ninomiya's number one. I want to see what the fuck they're.
Well, here's
what the fuck
thing.
is going on more with them.
Yeah, I mean Ninomiya has Azuma, Emma, Chika, and some kind of operator. I forget who they have, but yeah, he particularly picked people with a lot of Tryon, so that's probably like a big reason they're doing really well in these things. And Ninomiya himself is very smart, so he's probably like just taking on the special assignments and all the assignments on his own.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess, is that like he's just running a really, really tight ship.
I just want to see it more, because there's like there's clear tension in that squad, like there's clear like personality clashes, and I just want to see how Ninomiya kind of manages that so well, because he, like, regardless, he's not pretending to be their friend or anything. He's not, being nice. He's not being mean either. He's just very straightforward. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more of the different styles of leadership.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reason Ninomiya doesn't get enough focus is because he's like breezing past it. Because from what we saw, nobody's like fighting him. I think like everybody on his squad, Chika is not going to fight him, just not only because of her personality, but she knows that he's like a very capable guy and she'll just trust him. Azuma is playing like a more second in command role where he's just, managing and being a team player to Nino. Emma's indebted to Ninomiya just for having him on the squad, the same squad as Chika is. So he's just kind of playing ball there. But I think like everyone there has a general respect for him that is like, well, he knows what he's doing. He was once A rank. He is the top of the B rank. And he's got a very strong personality as well. So, I think there's like a lot of just trust and natural falling in line that happens with that crew. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it more. Sure. I think Ninomiya is a great character, honestly. Yeah, but that's my thought about that.
See, like, one of these little fights expanded.
Oh, Josh, could you repeat that? You kind of like cut out for a second.
No, I said I'm wondering if we're ever gonna see any of these little like test fights get fleshed out. That'd be cool.
I don't think so.
Maybe later on.
I don't think so because there's an actual battle simulation that's going to happen after this.
Oh, they're still gonna actually like fight.
Yeah, I think these squads are going to remain for the second part of the test, which is like a week-long battle simulation, from what I understand.
Whoa.
Like where they're actually in try-on bodies fighting each other.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I'm so excited. B Rank Wars Part 2 in a way. But yeah, I don't know. The game's very complex because it's not just they run around fighting each other in an RPG or something. It's like a cell phone game almost. So I imagine the pace would be genuinely very slow.
Shigaraki would hate it.
Shigaraki would hate it. Too much thinking. Too much strategy. He would just rather destroy all the way through.
Demon Lord bodies.
Yeah, not enough Demon Lord bodies.
Perfect Demon Lord body.
Check out my
Like what?
Check out my dope body. I've been doing evil P90X.
Did you think that laser that you took a week to charge would do anything to me?
All right. Let's not get on My Hero Academia now.
Yeah, let's back off. Brian's had enough.
Pico would have blasted his ass out of the fucking sky, man.
Yeah. Granola could never, dude. All right.
I think Shigaraki would be Granola.
Are you sure about that? He's the strongest warrior.
You're doing too much now.
Hey, I mean, Brian, he does have the perfect Demon Lord body.
And his hands keep expanding, too.
Yeah, he's got gross fungi hands.
What can you do about that?
Nothing.
Unless you meet Aria. He's just going to punch through all of it.
He's going to kick through it. He has shoot style. He's just going to kick through all of it.
Whatever. His arms are fine now.
Yeah.
Remember that thing they took 3/4 of the series building up just for it to be like, oh, no, it's okay now. It's not really a thing anymore. His arms are good.
Yeah. Anyway, that was World Trigger. Right? Are we done with World Trigger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was World Trigger. Yeah, let's close out the show with a little bit of a question corner here. We got some questions from Sketchy Mike, El Sketcherino. He sent us 3 questions a while back. We're only just getting them to them now. So let's get into it. First question, excluding any series that are still ongoing, what has been your favorite overall manga since you started reading them? I don't know who wants to go first. Yeah, it can't be ongoing. So I imagine he means what is your favorite story that's done, that's completed? Which one of those? Do you guys have any? If not, I could go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple. So this is, I guess like the implication of the question is one. If I were to pick one, I guess like I would pick Haikyuu. Like of a story that's done that that I have fresh in my mind. That was like the first story I remembered is Haikyuu. Just because I don't know. I feel like everybody should read Haikyuu at least once, especially like young people. I feel like it's a really good series for young people to read. There's a lot of like philosophy and life lessons in that story about volleyball that I've really taken to heart and I really try to implement in my life. So yeah, that's the one. It's really long manga and I really enjoyed it. I've always wanted to do a video on it. Like, you know, like a YouTuber fun video, but I don't know how to. Yeah. I don't know how to do it without getting copyright blasted into Kingdom Come. So I'm gonna avoid
IQ was incredible.
Yeah.
Regardless of the ending.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I personally think the ending's great, but and I'm a person who's particularly hard on manga endings, as we'll get to. Actually, one of the questions involves manga endings. But yeah, that's one of them. I mean, a few honorable mentions. Bakuman is a very close second to me.
For sure.
I think it's a great series. Ice Shield 21, but that's another one where like that's where I'm like the ending's not great, but I love that series. Attack on Titan. Now that it's over, it doesn't feel like it's over because it's still going. But Attack on Titan
because of the anime.
Yeah, but Attack on Titan's a hell of a series. But yeah, those are a few honorable mentions. Full Metal Alchemist.
Is that another one for you?
Yeah, Death Note.
No. Okay.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, 100%. One of the classics. One of the goats. But yeah, that's it for me. Josh, what do you have one?
My turn.
Yeah,
Zatch Bell, bro. Zatch Bell for sure. That was the first series. That was the first manga series I ever read from top to bottom. And that's not to say that it was like my favorite at the time while I was reading any of the series. It was just I didn't know that it was finished until like I remember getting like to the last chapters, and you can see it on the like when I used to be on the Scanlator sites, I could see there was only a few more chapters remaining, and it just that shit hit different, man. All right, so yeah. Zatch Bell, Hitman Reborn, that's another one that was really good. And you want to talk about a trash ending?
Was it trash?
I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know, man. I don't think it's not that it was like trash. It was that it felt premature. It felt like he kind of. It was similar to Naruto, where he just. I felt like the author kind of just stopped caring. Like it was like, I want to make Eid live. I'm over it.
That I think they started doing a detective series shortly after. I don't know if it's still going, but the creator of Hitman Reborn is like still working. I think they're doing a detective manga. But
I don't know if it's finished, but D Gray Man was another really good one.
I don't think it's finished.
I just fell off. It's not finished, so we won't count it.
Yeah, but it is great.
Yeah.
I remember really enjoying D Gray Man. It was just hard to keep up with because it went on hiatus for a long time. And then it's just like kind of irregular from what I understand. But I remember that being a big deal.
Yeah, the Gray Man went on a crazy hiatus. It was really sad. Yeah. But none sadder than Hunter x Hunter, so I guess I'll relax.
That's coming back.
Yeah. Has Hunter x Hunter spiked in popularity recently?
It's always been popular.
It's always been popular.
Like people have never left it. People. Right. It just.
But I feel like I'm seeing more memes recently, like even before the announcement.
Well, it's been out. It's been out and about for a while. So, how many memes can you make?
The world revolves around me.
Yeah,
perhaps that's the issue.
That's also true. That could be a thing.
That could be it.
It could be a thing. Brian, do you have any favorite completed series?
I feel like it's weird, but I feel like I don't really have like a favorite finished manga, but I have favorite finished anime more so. If that makes sense.
They were once manga, bro. So, but if you absorbed it in anime form, then I guess
like the first thing that comes to my mind is Gantz, but like I don't know whether that's because
what is this Gantz shit?
We talked about it at length off mic one time. I still don't know what it's about though.
I don't remember it by name then.
Gantz is like it's. I think I only really liked it for like at least the beginning of it. I only liked it when I was younger because it was edgy as fuck. But like as the series went on, it actually developed to be something really, really unique in the way that it tackles like character development and in-world act, like the fighting system and all that stuff. Like that series was so uniquely interesting in the way that it wrote its dialogue. Honestly, I feel like it kind of reminds me of Chainsaw Man to some extent when it comes to its dialogue. Obviously, it's not as good. I'll say that. It's not as good as Chainsaw Man's dialogue, but it's similar. The way that its comedy is handled and the way that the world is handled. like the way that monsters interact with humans. It's just it's quite similar, but it's different in the way that it handles the series. So I'd say Gaunt's is good. It's a great read. Just at the beginning, be prepared to cringe a little bit because the author was just like really in a fucking edgy mood, like edgy humor kind of shit. So it's really stupid at the beginning, but as the series goes on, it actually becomes really, really, really well written. So there's that. And for anime, I'd say I agree with Chris. Haikyuu, specifically Haikyuu season 3 is the greatest, and I'm not even saying this lightly, is one of the greatest, not one of the greatest, the greatest sports anime season of all time. There's nothing that tops that season. And that's the season when it's him versus like the Shitori Kawa or whatever.
Shiratorizawa.
Yeah, those guys. A whole season dedicated to one fucking match.
Oh, with that middle blocker.
And it was the most
good.
Yeah. It was the most beautiful fucking sports anime season I've ever seen in my entire life. When you're focused on one match, it would have been super easy for you to be over it. Like 2 episodes in, 3 episodes in, but they still managed to keep you hooked and dealing with multiple characters and their inspirations and like their goals and how they want to improve. Like all throughout the span of one match, they managed to flesh out so many fucking characters, including the enemy team. So it's like, how do you fucking do that so masterfully and in one season, you know? How do you do that and keep people engaged? So that's why I think that's the greatest arc in sports manga or anime. Very well done. I think the anime version is probably the best way to consume that one, just because of how well it's done. But
crows are meant to fly.
Yeah, I suppose that it probably is better in the manga. It could be good to read in manga. I've never read the manga, but
I'll back you up on that. I think like if I were to recommend a way to probably take in Haikyuu, it would probably be the anime because it's just so well done.
Could you back me up on my claim too?
What claim was that? That crows were meant to
fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fly.
Yeah, Josh.
Metaphorically.
You know what, Brian? You know what we did? We praised Haikyuu too much.
Yeah, my bad.
My bad. We went a little too far.
I love Haikyuu, guys.
We went a little too far there.
Coming from this.
You're right.
Too late. We've changed it to the dark side.
You're right.
Dark Josh came out.
Oh, real quick, honorable mention. I guess before we move on to the next question, Food Wars. I think.
Oh.
I'll put Food Wars up there.
I wouldn't say the other food manga.
What?
The absurd one.
Fuck. I know.
Toriko?
Yes. Yo.
Man, Toriko.
Fucking bananas, man. Wow, what a ride. I'm so happy I watched at the end. Yo, the thing with... Remember the snake wrapped around the guy? Yeah. And he just absorbed.
Yeah, no. Toriko got weird at the end. Toriko got crazy. There's a gun planet. There's a planet that's just straight up a Beretta. It's like it's a sideways Beretta floating in space. So, read Toriko, honestly. I will one day.
That's the honorable mention.
Yeah, Toriko is an honorable mention. I'll
the fork attack.
Yeah, fork and spoon, right? No, fork and knife. Where you did this, and then it was like that.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good series.
Man. Toriko was crazy. Jellyfish Taxi.
Yeah, Jellyfish. Oh, man, what a time. What a time that was.
What a time.
All right.
When everything was in the same magazine, so it was all there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question. How did you guys get to anime manga originally? My entry point was Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, as I'm sure the same is the same for many of the fans out there.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember a specific moment where you said to yourself, "I'm sold on this. Let me find out more"?
Can I go first?
I mean, I feel like Brian and I have similar stories because we kind of like grew up on the same thing. But yeah, Brian, you could go first.
All right. So there's a specific story that really highlighted my anime, my love for anime. And it was a day when me, Christian, and a bunch of his homies were just hanging out outside and shit. And we were just chilling and stuff. And then one day we forgot or something that Naruto was going to be on Toonami, right? So we rushed home. We literally rushed home, got on the TV just in time to watch Rock Lee versus Gaara for the first time on Toonami.
Oh.
And that was the most fucking sick shit we've ever seen. We were so fucking hyped watching it. I was like, wait, this is fucking dope. I need to fucking sit down, make some AMVs, you know?
Make some AMVs.
Dude, I mean...
Yo, me and Christian made AMVs all the fucking time.
You too, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably, if it weren't for manga or anime, this podcast wouldn't exist because I wouldn't have the technical know-how.
Oh, wow.
We know how to edit and stuff because of AMVs.
Yeah, even on a like, aside from the fact that that's what we talk about, I learned video editing and pretty much everything else, making shitty little AMVs when I was like 13, 14. So
fun fact,
Linkin
my
Park.
AMVs are still
yeah,
out.
Linkin Park. Yours are? I actually was trying to find mine a long time ago, but I think
I know I found mine. I remember I found mine. It's very
we were good.
My AMVs, I'm pretty sure both our AMVs always featured the same clips.
Oh yeah,
every single time.
Oh yeah,
it was this.
Oh yeah,
the same clip.
Listen, man, there wasn't as much anime out. We weren't as aware of as many series. We didn't have
our animes always featured. It was either Naruto or One Piece. Those were the only two series.
Yeah. No. Our AMVs were Naruto or Dragon Ball. We didn't have One Piece then.
No, I did One Piece AMVs.
When?
I don't know, but for some reason I had like one. And for some reason it was only One Piece movies that I used clips for.
Yeah.
So it's like Luffy versus the syrup dude.
Yeah. I remember
Zoro. I don't know. Sanji was like falling off of a fucking hot air balloon or something. I have no clue.
Yeah,
but these are clips that I used.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of clips. I think they were up to what, movie 6 or something at that time. Because it had to be before Enies Lobby. It had to be before Gear 2nd.
When did you two get into One Piece?
I got into One Piece when Christian got into One Piece.
It took me a while because, like, I remember in middle school thinking
how'd it happen?
I remember middle school remembering like thinking One Piece was trash because of the 4Kids dub. So
yeah. Yo, we used to watch that shit too.
We watched it and we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Dreaming. Don't give it up, fake dreaming. Don't give it up, solo dreaming. Oh, don't give it up.
That shit was trash.
Don't give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Yeah,
it was that in Dragon Ball GT.
The yo-ho shit.
Yeah, my favorite part about that old One Piece theme song was that, like, as more people got added to the crew, they had to add parts to the theme song. So.
Wait, what was it for who was it that got the lamest fucking intro?
They stopped at Chopper because they only got past Alabasta, so they didn't really make it that far after.
Wait, was it a parody that was like, I don't know, there was somebody, it was like
no, they said they had to cut down Sanji's to make room for Chopper. So Sanji's cooking.
What did they say for Sanji?
Sanji's cooking.
That's what it was.
No, it says Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Doctoring.
I threw down my. I threw down my Lucky Charms in anger. It's like, guys, what are we doing here, right? Are we serious people right now?
Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring.
What are we trying to do here? What are we trying to accomplish? Chopper's doctoring? Can we try harder? Can we do
Nami's
more?
an LADY. She's an LADY. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring.
Dude, I mean, what are they going to do? What were they going to do when they reach Frankie? What are they going to do?
Roboting.
It's like he was running out of breath towards the end. He was like, fuck it. Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring.
Hey, sorry. They added an archaeologist. An archaeologist for what?
I don't know. They don't know how to read rocks.
Robin's archaeologying. I can't imagine. But yeah, I mean, Brian and I got into anime at the same time. We grew up around anime kids. Did you put it on?
I need to hear the hold on.
Hold on. I gotta put it on. I mean, we can't. I don't know if we could put it on. Will we get copyright stricken?
I think you'll be fine because
right.
it's not really.
I'm gonna track it down
content.
and put it on through my feed here. But yeah, Brian and I got into it. We were obsessed with Dragon Ball, though. That was our first one. Dragon Ball Z. That was our thing. Hold on. 4Kids One Piece opening.
Sanji's cooking. Chopper's doctoring.
All right. Can you hear? There's an ad playing right now. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo.
Josh,
my
okay.
God,
It was that. It was that
King
and
of the
Dragon Ball
pirates.
GT. I
He
feel
had
like we
fame,
both
power,
started watching
and
those at
wealth
the same
beyond
time.
your wildest dreams. Before they hung him
Yo,
from the gallows,
wildest
these were the final
dreams.
words he said.
My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first.
They should have kept
I left
Roger's
everything
voice.
I own.
It's
It
just
was
us.
Yeah.
peace.
Even in the anime, even in the
Pirates from all
Japanese
over the
anime, they
world
should
set
be
sail for the
using this
Grand
voice.
Line, searching for one piece.
Guys, stop.
The
Treasure
The
that would
bars
make
are
their
about to drop.
dreams come true.
Yo!
Don't give it up, Toasty.
Don't give it up, Luffy. Don't give it up, Solo. Don't give it up, Nami. Don't give it.
Give it up, 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 give it up.
Wow, you see what you did here, Mikey? Yo, alright. What's the third question?
Hey, we're already in. We're already in too deep.
His name's Zolo, he's just like a samurai and a LADY. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking, Chopper's doctoring.
Just go for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line.
Technically.
And they wonder why nobody likes
Stop
One
it.
Piece.
Did they add?
Roger, who
Hold
was
on.
king of the pirates.
Here's how the story goes. We find
Oh
out
no, this guy added Frankie, Brooke, Jinbei, and Robin. There's a new One Piece 4Kids opening that the guy did. Are you showing the comparisons to what 4Kids did?
Oh yeah, they took out guns. And honestly,
They
though,
took out Ace.
they did find out a creative way to beat Crocodile. So there's that.
Sweat.
Yeah, Luffy just
Which makes
sweat.
more sense than blood, honestly,
Hold on, guys.
in my opinion.
I think the guy who wrote the original theme song here, he put out a new edition with everybody else.
Oh
Like,
shit!
for recreation?
Frankie, yeah, for funsies, I guess. But let's hear this.
We took a bite of gum gum.
His name's Zoro, he's just like a samurai and a LADY. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking, Chopper's doctoring.
Doctoring.
Okay, rhyme break, like
Wait.
a little break up.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going cause we can't forget. There's no stopping Robin, the archaeologist. Get it right, ship right, build with Frankie. Brooke, let it play at the helm, Jinbei.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he actually went ham for Frankie. Yo, he went ham for Frankie.
Oh my
We know who his
God.
favorite character is now.
Yeah, I guess I gotta put credit for this
Go
guy.
with Frankie.
Good for him. Honestly,
That was tough.
good for him. I don't know if I have the applause sound here, but no. There you go. That was pretty good. Find that guy's song. I actually liked what he did with Robin and Frankie. You know what? That's what they should have done. They should have added a little break for him to like collect himself before adding Chopper and the others. But yeah, that's how we got into anime manga. Brian and I got obsessed with Dragon Ball, and then it was a slippery slope from there. Fun fact:
I have a similar. Oh god.
the first manga volume I ever owned was Dragon Ball Volume 11, Dragon Ball Z Volume 11, where Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time. That was like when I was 12 or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that would make me 6.
Yeah. That was when Sam Goody was around, man. I don't know if you remember Sam Goody. We would go to the Queens Center Mall.
I remember losing your fucking wand at that shit.
My
remember?
wand?
Yeah, you had like a wand and then I lost it somewhere.
Oh.
It was at a Sam Goody's.
You know what? I forgot. I never forgave you for that. You're off the show forever. You're done. That was my wand, dude.
That was my fucking wand.
How else would he have defeated Voldemort?
That was my fucking wand.
Yo ho ho, we took a bite of gum.
Anyway,
gum.
third and final question. And I feel like Josh will enjoy this one.
Oh, wait, I didn't even get to answer mine.
Oh, did you?
But I'm not going to
sorry.
drag on for
Go
this
for it.
one. Yeah. Basically, started with Dragon Ball Z, just like everybody else. The crazy thing is that I feel like Rurouni Kenshin was like an anime that really gave me like an appreciation for anime in general, because I was into like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I used to watch it on WB11, like on the Saturday morning cartoons, but I didn't really know that was anime. And then I remember Rurouni Kenshin would come on Toonami, and that and Yu Yu Hakusho. Those two were like the first kind of like legit anime I watched that wasn't like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Dragon Ball Z. So I started liking that, and then Naruto really brought me back into trying out different stuff. But like the anime for Naruto, because I started watching it with my stepbrother Kay, and that was during the Chunin exams, so that shit was popping. Yeah, so right when Gaara was fighting against Rock Lee and all that too.
Yeah, that was a big moment for all of us.
Oh yeah, man. And then they was in the forest, right? And then I've already told the story with manga, but I remember being in like math class. We had a substitute. Someone had it on the computer, and it was during the pain fight. I had no idea what was going on, but the art looked so dope, and Naruto looked so cool with his dad's jacket on, and I had to finish the chapter. And there you go.
Yeah.
I got into One Piece by accident, but I'm glad
By accident.
It was fate. I was like insistent. I was like, you have to do it.
Josh looked defeated when he said,
I had to-
I got the One Piece by accident.
Listen,
It's he went to read it in spite of Christian and then ended up liking it.
I mean, it was
Not
a battle.
really.
It was a battle. It's funny,
read it at the library, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna see what's going on. If it counts for anything, I pulled up during Impel Down, and it looked really cool.
Yeah.
The poison dude is fighting against Mr. Earwax guy, and I was like, I kind of remember that. I kind of remember Crocodile and his crew.
Yeah.
From 4 Kids, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, ironically,
we took a bite of gum.
Ironically, we weren't like massive weeb kids. We weren't like big weeb boys. But back in the day, we were only into
I wasn't Naruto running or fake tripping Jeffrey.
Really, it was kind of just it was really Naruto was the nexus point, because I think I was like tangentially into this stuff, and then Naruto came in and it was like, whoa.
Blew everything else away. Nothing hooked me more than Naruto.
I'm watching like Naruto from the beginning, because like that I think like that's how
Again? I'm judging you.
I've watched I've watched the first half of Naruto a bunch of times. I've never watched Shippuden over. I'd like to get to that point. But Yeah, I'm doing that now, and it's so weird how much Naruto is like different back in the day. Like Sharingan was just the thing that apparently only a few Uchiha had. Like Sasuke makes it a point, is like only a few select members of my clan, and there's like 27 people who have it now.
Yeah, towards the end of the series.
Yeah, so it is funny how like kind of the world's expanded in a weird way, despite what Kishimoto established early on. It's still great, honestly. It holds up. The Chunin exams are great still. I think I literally just cleared it. I'm like on the part where they're finding Tsunade. But yeah, that was a crazy. Those were like good. Naruto was great.
Real quick before we move on, you guys remember the Dragon Ball GT opening?
Yeah. Welcome to the Grand Tour.
Dragon Ball, welcome to the Grand Tour. Dragon Ball GT.
That's what GT stands for, Grand Tour?
No, I don't know what it really stands for, but it's not Grand Tour.
Welcome to the Grand Tour.
I think, at least. I think that's like what the dub called it. But I'm not sure what GT stand for, really. But yeah, it also had a rap theme song. They were really into doing that for series.
Chopper's doctoring.
I hear it was like trash all the way up until like the final arcs.
Oh,
Like,
my
with the main villains, I hear were actually pretty good.
I would say that it's trash all the way through. But
Only with Baby, like with Baby and something else.
Me and Christian officially lost it when Omega Shenron tried to throw a clock at Goku.
we had a DVD of Dragon Ball GT where it was like towards the last few episodes of it, because it's anime only. There's no manga for Dragon Ball GT. So
Yeah.
and there's a point where Goku was like blinded in his last fight. Like one of the dragons scratched his eyes in a weird cat fight.
Oh yeah, the dragons were like.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, and this was a really good. It was a very crazy bonding moment between me, Brian, and our other cousin that was also a weeb with us, where we would watch this one DVD, and there was this one, and we would lose our minds laughing at this terrible fight where there's this arc called the Black Dragon Ball Dragons, where all these Dragon Balls have like these dragon spirits within them, and Goku had to fight them in order to get the dragon back.
Which is a cool premise by itself.
It's not a bad premise, honestly. And there's some good parts to it, but the main one was Omega Shenron, which is the 1-star ball, and it got to a point where he was absorbing all of the Dragon Balls. He just became this ultimate being. Goku had to fight him blind.
Like Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, Goku had to find him blind, but he was sensing his evil energy the whole time, so he was still whooping his ass. Omega Shenron gets away for a second, and then he pulls off just this random clock tower clock, and he's like, "Do you sense the evil in this clock?" "No, because it has no evil for you to sense." And then he just
throws it at Goku.
Fucking frisbees it.
Beams Goku in the head with that shit.
He tries to frisbee him, like he throws it at him, and it curves around. It does like a whole thing, and
yeah, like a Destructo disc.
Yeah, it curves behind him. He threw it so precisely that it just like curved around and like was gonna slice Goku from behind, and then he ruined it by just like once it got within like 2 yards of him, he just shouted, "Tear him apart!" And then Goku just caught it.
He had him.
Yeah.
He had it in the bag.
Honestly, a pretty great fight.
Tear him apart!
Tear him apart! That was a good time.
I gotta see that shit,
dude.
now.
It's so funny.
That's the evil in this clock.
Yeah, I love that.
That's what I'm gonna go.
It might have to be a drop.
It's hard to find.
It's
actually hard to find.
It's hard to find.
People meme it like that.
Yeah, I mean, only we memed it because we watched Dragon Ball GT. We'll find it, and I'll make it a drop if it makes you happy.
Do you sense the evil?
Do you sense the?
You type in the word. Do you sense evil in this clock?
Yes.
All right. Well.
All right, I found it, but.
Oh, you did?
You did?
Yeah.
Can you send me the link? I'll just play it so we can all hear it.
All right.
Yeah, we're on a tangent now. This is what happens when we don't have weekly series.
Shit. Do this.
Well, this is all impromptu anyway. Brian, while you send that, I guess we could get into the next and final question. Are you guys ready for the next and final question? Oh, did you send it? Shit. No,
I sent it in Discord.
send it. Can you send it through Facebook just so I can have it? Because my phone is the thing that's hooked up to the interface.
Yeah, I'll send it now. I was just sending it on Discord so I could transfer it.
Oh, okay.
The link.
Anyway,
And the timestamp is 7:48.
7 minutes and 48 seconds. Jeez Louise.
What's the name of the video?
I'm sending it to Instagram.
All right, that works too.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, I can't check it until
did find
after.
it. 7. What was the minute mark, Brian?
7:50.
All right. Well, this is worth it. So I'm glad you guys all stuck around and are listening still.
Sure.
Can you sense the evil of this clock? No, because it has no evil for you to sense. So I bet you can't see what happens next.
Fair assumption.
And from here, it's just sound effects until he goes, "Damn, I think the guy
I can't wait.
he did the audio.
Oh, it doesn't catch that.
Hold on, I think I got it. Okay, here we go.
It's a little childish.
Here we go. He's smiling right now.
Tear him apart!
He's on like one of
Goku
the Call of Duty
instantly fucking
zombies.
catches it.
Yeah, Goku just turns around and goes,
And Shenron's shocked. He
Yeah.
is shocked that he caught it. He's like, but how?
Ah.
There's no evil in this clock.
there was no
Omega Shenron.
There was no evil in this clock for you to sense.
I guess that's the name of the episode. Can you sense the evil in this clock?
Yo ho ho, he took him by the gum.
All right. Third and final question. What manga moment or ending left you disappointed / wishing it had gone differently?
Ooh.
This
Josh-
is a very popular.
Well, which I feel like Sketchy Mike did this knowing that he'd activate Josh to its ultimate power.
All right, so what, are we gonna go down the list?
I mean, Brian,
Go down the list.
damn.
I feel like top of the list has to be Bleach, right?
Damn.
Top of the
Probably.
list has to be Bleach, right?
I actually have other candidates. I mean,
I
Promise
also have other
Neverland.
candidates.
Oh right, Promise Neverland.
Promise Neverland.
IQ.
Well, let's go one at a time. First of all, I don't agree with
They're supposed
IQ.
to do this Team Japan, bro.
I truly don't agree with
They're supposed to go to the
IQ.
Olympics.
He did go to the Olympics.
No, he didn't.
He did.
He went to Brazil and then he went to amateur pro volleyball.
Because you
Let
did
me
you
look
not
into
finish it?
I guess I didn't finish the last chapter
Well,
or
that's
something.
pretty important. Because spoiler alert, he does. The last page
Is
is him.
Naoya there?
The last page is him and Kageyama at the Olympics.
Who's Kageyama? Is that the setter?
The
right?
setter.
The God setter. His arc was the best.
One Piece. It's the name of the treasure.
Whatever.
in the-
Who wants to go first?
Anyway. Oh man, so many. I mean, Naruto.
Naruto. I actually like
That
Naruto's.
did really bad.
I like Naruto's last chapter. The ending arc is not great, but I do enjoy how it ended. I feel like
Are we
it
going based off
ended-
of the last chapters or
No, I mean,
last arc?
this is my case I'm making them like if we're talking about the last chapter, Naruto had a good final chapter. It was what it was supposed to be. But the ending, I will say that the ending arc was not great. It did not end well.
just became too Megazordy.
Yeah, it ended not well in a macro sense, but in a micro sense, it ended fine.
Sure. Did Bleach end well on a micro sense? I mean,
No?
No,
No.
considering the fact that they took like 5 years to even make a new chapter or
I
a
often
one shot
think-
for it.
I often find myself
that
thinking,
has
am I
nothing
too
to
hard
do
on
with it,
Bleach? I'm just like,
That has everything to do with it. Naruto ended immediately. Boruto came out.
It was pretty fast. It was like literally it was as fast
If
as
it was reasonably popular and well received, Bleach probably could have kept going.
Demon Slayer.
Well, it wasn't canceled.
Demon Slayer ended bad. I didn't.
Hell yeah, man.
I didn't watch it.
Here's what I will say. I will say
Why'd I read the series?
I will
But
say
it's
that
ending.
Demon Slayer has the opposite thing of Naruto, where I think Demon Slayer actually had a really good final arc, but the last chapter stunk.
Yeah, listen, the final arc was okay.
I like the final arc a lot.
I was so desensitized to people dying. I was just like, okay, I just whatever. Y'all are all gonna die.
People do
It's
drop.
fine.
People you don't think are gonna drop do drop.
Everyone drops.
Not everyone.
Sorry, guys. Spoiler.
No, not everyone.
Nigga, everyone dies.
No,
bro.
that's not true. That's just not
The
true.
snake guy lives.
Not everyone dies.
Bro, the girls all die.
No spoilers.
This is all massive spoil. They should know. We're talking about endings.
Mad niggas died, yo. Mad niggas died. The water.
I wanted to not know.
Mad niggas. I mean, it's all
Oh
at the
shit,
end, so
Brian!
it's alright.
Were you reading? Oh, you were watching it.
I wanted to watch it over. It's all right. I don't know. It's still pretty vague, but
Brian, I'll tell you now. Not everyone dies.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
everyone.
Most.
Not most.
The game is gonna be who survives.
Yeah,
That should be a thought process.
a healthy amount of people die, but not everyone dies. Josh is going him.
isn't Shaman King's ending notoriously bad?
It's funny because Shaman King. I feel like Shaman King was like very
Sacred
much.
cow right there, Brian. You better be careful with Chris.
No, I don't care. I don't have that much of.
Sacred cow.
I think like from what I understand, Shaman King had a similar end to Bleach, where at a certain point, like he was getting pressure from editors and whatnot towards the end, and he just kind of had to end it at some point. And he was given an opportunity, and he did take it to like rewrite the ending. And I don't know that ending, so I couldn't tell you if it ends well in how Tayuki, I think that's his name, wanted it to end. But yeah, I remember, Shaman King's ending was disappointing, apparently. I remember being disappointed by it. Because
Hitman Reborn was really disappointing at the end.
yeah.
Speaking of Hitman Reborn, guys, I hate to say it, but I tried rereading it.
It's really good right up until it isn't.
Well, you got to read it.
When was the last time you read Hitman Reborn,
Well,
Josh?
Brian,
Mad long, but I read it twice.
how far did you get in Hitman Reborn? Because you got to hit the point where it becomes like a serious battle manga.
No, I got to the part where they're doing the Vongola battles or whatever.
Damn.
For the first
That's a
time.
really good arc.
Yeah, that's like that's cream of the crap right there,
What
bro.
are you
That's your
talking
Sasuke retrieval arc, essentially. Like,
I don't know. It
I wouldn't go
kind
that far,
of
but
doesn't hold up to me, honestly.
I mean, it might. I mean, I haven't read.
the art holds up.
I haven't read these
No
series
one
in a
did
long
color
time.
pages. No one did Fire better than that author.
Yeah, Masano was a
The way
great
they made
artist.
Fire look was so crazy.
Ice Shield 21. That's a big one for me.
What happened at the
Yeah,
end?
Ice
They
Shield
lost?
did end pretty
I love
shit.
Ice Shield. Not a great ending. It's a shame.
I remember being like,
They
this
lost
is
to that
some
team with the
bullshit.
kicker on it, right?
Do you want to know? Because you haven't
Yes.
finished.
Yes.
Well,
Can I say it?
I
No.
want to say it.
Chris gets to say it. He
All right.
lent me the books.
Okay, so they do win the Christmas Bowl.
That's that whole thing that they
Yeah,
were
they
doing,
do
right.
win. They win their big game, but there's a game after that, where there is an all-star team basically put together between the United States and Japan,
Oh,
and
shit.
they put the teams together to play to pick one person who will move on to the NFL straight out of high school.
What?
Yeah. The Daemon Devil Bats are mostly not in the game for the most part. It's Senna, Senna of course. Hiram is
Yeah.
there. Monta's there, but the linemen are like on the B team, except for Kurita.
He's on the A team.
Yeah, Kurita's on the A team as like the center.
Right, he should be. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He should have been the one that went to the NFL if he wasn't.
Yeah.
That's like,
No, yeah.
I think it's huge. I'd
Yeah.
love to have him on the Cowboys.
Gao is on there. Oh, you don't know Gao yet, but I know where you stopped, and you don't know Gao yet.
Gao's the kicker, isn't he?
No, Gao is on a team you haven't seen yet.
Oh my God! You
He
need to
joins
see this,
that
man.
late.
Oh,
You need to see this 15-year-old boy.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
You need to. No, can you
What
please
does he
just
do?
Google him? Please just
Google
him.
iShield 21 Gao.
All right, no, wait. Before you Google him,
What's his
before you
name? How do
Google
you
him,
spell his name?
GAO.
hold on. Before you Google him, I need you to put to let me give you the context of Gao.
Gao's a lineman.
He's a lineman.
Gao is a defensive end.
Oh shit! Nice.
And hold on, before you Google him, he is 16 years old. All right, now you can Google him.
But yeah, there's this all-star team. A lot of the main characters in the like Jumanji isn't one of the starting linemen, which sucks. Like he should have been one of the offensive linemen, given how much actual character development he gets. He scores a goddamn touchdown at some point as a lineman, so he should be a part of it. Komusubi is not in it; he's on the B team. The kid number 16, the kid who Yukimitsu, he's not in it. But you know who is in it? The fucking chameleon guy. He's on the A team.
Chameleon guy. Shit. I do remember his name. I remember this guy. Wasn't he a quarterback or something like that?
Yeah, he was a quarterback. No, he's a linebacker.
Yeah.
He was a linebacker. But he's on the team.
He was good. He had like fast hands or something like that.
He had long hands. Like
Wait, so this guy Gal joins their team?
Yeah, I mean he's just such a fucking beast. His thing.
And he's 16 years old with the fucking body of a fucking 32-year-old fucking anime villain. Like,
yeah, his thing was that he would injure quarterbacks. So he beats the Cowboys by the Cowboys by injuring Kid, and then he injures Hiruma.
No.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the coolest games. Senna becomes the quarterback. It's cool.
Oh shit.
yeah, Senna is Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Wait, so Gal joins their team though?
He gets picked to be one of the in the A team of the Team Japan.
Okay. So Gal's like the final boss.
Yeah. Well, not the final boss. He gets picked to be an ally. The final boss is technically Panther. If you remember him. Like the kid from the United States that they played.
Yes.
The running back.
Mm-hmm.
The legendary black athlete.
Yeah, the legendary black athlete.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of sports manga sometimes. Sometimes there's one black character and everybody loses their damn minds and it's weird.
He's from America.
He's from America and
He's black and strong.
weird moment. Hajime no Ippo does it too with Azuma.
Jason Osama. And Bison. Remember Bison?
Bison.
Oh, did you guys not read the Bison fight?
Oh, I'm probably behind.
It's like Takamura versus Bison.
Oh, I'm probably behind.
Yeah.
Damn, you're that far behind though?
I'm really far
Bison,
behind at this
right?
point.
God damn.
I've really fallen off, unfortunately, with Ippo, and it's not by choice. It just kind of like ended up that way. I got to catch up. I really do.
I have a website for you.
I know.
If you'd like
I know
to
of a
read it.
place. I can.
You
I
son
know.
of a
I have a
bitch.
place. I can go there.
Read Hajime no Ippo, you two, please.
Listen, we were reading it where it was like super duper irregular, so we never knew when it was coming out.
It's still super duper irregular.
Well, then I don't know what you want from me.
I want you to read it and remember it.
I'll try. Okay. Is there anything
Like at
else?
least once a month, remember to catch up on
try.
Hajime.
Is Ippo and this girl dating? Just say yes or no.
Kind of.
Okay. Leave it at that.
Food Wars. I know I mentioned that as
Hot
one of
dog
the
in the donut. Yes or no?
what?
Huh?
Hot dog in the donut?
Yes or no?
Almost.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Not where I left off.
sad.
Almost. It almost happened. But
It'll
then,
never happen.
Mashiba.
It'll never happen, dude. It'll never happen. But yeah, Food Wars. I know I mentioned it as one of my favorite completed series, but it ends not great. I will say that early
Very not great.
yeah, early Food Wars is one of my favorite series of all time.
Early Food Wars is elite.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to make a video about Food Wars as well. I have a good idea for it, but maybe I'll save it. But it is a great series, and it's on Netflix. So if you guys wanted to watch it, I think Food Wars is a fun anime to watch. Although, be warned.
Up until the end of the Moon Festival.
Yeah, I'd say that. But be warned, there's a lot of fan service. Don't read it on trains. People, it'll be weird. This is too much fan service. Very good series.
I would never read that shit at work.
Don't
Never.
do it. Read it in the privacy of your own home. Or
What was
watch
that romance
Nisekoi?
mafia?
Nisekoi.
Huh? Yeah.
Nisekoi
You
was
guys
That
like
one was really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it ended. The ending was actually
Pretty good.
Really crazy, man.
Yeah, I think this hits the it. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about Nisekoi. Good call, Brian.
But it didn't end bad.
I'm saying, for the first question.
All right. So since we discussed a bunch of shit that ended bad, let's go with one that ended good.
I did.
Yeah.
Like aside from Nisekoi, like what's another like big manga that ended well?
Haikyuu. I know you guys don't agree, but Haikyuu.
I mean, I didn't read it, so
Haikyuu.
I can't agree nor disagree. I'm the unbiased king now.
Bakuman.
Bakuman had a pretty good ending, yeah. Death Note, obviously.
Did it end good?
Death Note have a
Death
good?
Note, yeah. Yeah.
I like how me and Josh thought the same thing.
Yeah. What was wrong with it?
I mean, Light had to die. He was wilding.
Yeah. It's the only way it could
I don't know. I
end.
feel like Nier was kind of like
Not close, but near.
Yeah, like Nier was like
Oh, man.
like it could have just been L.
Who was the other guy? Chocolate Naka?
Mellow.
I've never felt that weird disdain for the final half of Death Note that a lot of people do. And I never knew why. I could never really put it to words, but there's this YouTuber that's really good who did, where he talks about Nier and why he was actually really good and what he means to the series and why it went the way it did.
What's it called?
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you guys after.
I love Death Note analysis.
Hiding
for some
in
reason.
Potato chip.
What's this kid's name? He's really good. He made it really. He's the kid who did the Chainsaw Man video I sent you, Josh, that one time.
Oh yeah. That was actually an incredible video.
Yeah, he's really good. He has a really good video on Nier.
Kato?
It's
The video is called "The Importance of Nier" in Death Note.
hold on there. Hold
While
on.
you're looking that up, I'm gonna answer the fourth question that Mike B asked,
Hiding in
which
public.
was what is the preferred drink of most Dominicans in New York City? Which I'm going to go ahead and take a guess and say a Malta.
A Malta?
I do enjoy.
Man, I haven't had a Malta in a minute.
I do enjoy a good Malta.
Malta.
No, go Mike B.
Okay, the guy's name is hiding in public.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
the video is the boy who cornered God. So find that. He's really great.
He did corner God.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched this. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out.
Could you please send that to the chat, bro?
I will send that to the chat, bro. Yeah, good.
Can you please, mate.
All right, good endings, and then we'll just close.
I
out.
rate that.
Just to end on a positive note. Yu Yu Hakusho. As far as I
It
remember,
ended good.
yeah. As far as I remember, Yu Yu Hakusho had a pretty good ending.
Cool.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Kuwabara, he fucked up, bro. He opened the dimension for no reason.
He did open the dimension. Guys, I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yo, he took a bite of gum.
Because Viz doesn't have
It's so funny.
Viz didn't have doesn't have Yu Yu Hakusho on. So I'm watching the anime and I'm like, nostalgia.
Let's go.
It's pretty great. Holds up, that series. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho was great. Rurouni Kenshin, although I always hesitate to kind of like spread the word of Rurouni Kenshin because of the news. But I will say that Rurouni Kenshin had a pretty good impact on my life. But
what's wrong with it? What happened?
Oh,
Is it controversial?
Yeah, the creator got caught up on charges. I will talk about it off air, I guess, because I feel like this will like get us buried by the algorithm talking about it.
Sure. We are.
Yeah, but anyway.
Goddamn, freedom of speech. Nerd. Nerd. BC.
What about my freedom?
It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not a big deal. But yeah. I mean, you know, I'll predict that One Piece will have a good ending going forward. I'll put down good money right now. One Piece, good ending. Attack on Titan has a pretty good ending. Although, you know, a lot of people like are up and down on it.
When you say good ending, do you mean like good ending because
not a happy ending.
Appreciated the outcome, or a good ending because you felt like a strong message was left? Because spoilers, guys. Eren Yeager goes full fascio, and he kills everyone.
Yeah, he goes fascio washo.
Okay. Ever.
No, listen. I mean, you're not even finished.
Never, ever.
Well, you're not finished with the series, so you actually don't know if.
Well, he didn't kill everybody. He just committed mass genocide.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm talking about, Brian.
No, yeah. I mean,
not okay.
Josh, you know I'm not like, yeah, Eren, kill everyone.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Eren, do it.
You did listen to a lot of Linkin Park growing up.
Hey, those guys weren't genocidal maniacs, dude.
You're right.
They just like to rock. They just like to rock and rap.
Yeah, pseudo rap.
But yeah, I would say Attack on Titan. I think there's something to it. I'm obviously not like, yeah, get him, Eren. But obviously, and I don't think you're supposed to be like, yeah, get him, Eren.
Some people are.
Well, you can't control how people interpret your art. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm pretty sure this guy is not like. I'm sure Isayama is not like, everybody's gonna love this. You know.
I think he's kind of problematic though, but
is he?
Maybe we can.
I don't know about that.
He supports. He's essentially a conservative. Whatever the Japanese version of a conservative is, that's what he is.
You know, I never got that from Attack on Titan. Conservative is a pretty like.
It had to do with his I guess comments about the series and around it. I can send you a video.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Well, I guess that's it, right? That's it for the show.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Those are questions. We do have another batch of my Sketchy Mike questions that we'll get to next time we have time for it. But this was great. Keep sending in questions because why not? But yeah, that's been our little question corner, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, we got a little bit of a regular episode out of this. I thought we were gonna go for shorter, but I always think that. But yeah, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at NYChillin on Twitter, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. He's doing hand signs. I don't know what
I was spelling out end with
throwing up his set.
Oh,
I was spelling out end with my hands.
Okay. Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. He streams video games sometimes. So, follow him at twitch.tv/it's punchline for that. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially. We do a really good chapter of the week poll. So check us out there. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. And leave a comment under the videos you're watching. If you guys don't want to email, you can do that. That would be pretty sick. Let us know what you guys think, any questions that you may have. Follow in Sketchy Mike's footsteps and send us some questions, guys. You can subscribe to us. Give us a subscribe. Hit that bell. Never miss a video. Like, share, all the things. If you prefer audio podcasts, we're on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on that shit. And that's it. That's our show. Next week, we'll have everybody back, the whole lineup. And yeah, it'll be fun. See you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, everybody.